thanks very much. Well, yeah, funny you should ask. The song for Bliss, well, Mike and I came up with the idea, I think right here at the Fall on Your Sword studio. We wanted to have a song that was based on the love theme, something that would come out of the epilogue and go into the end titles. Sometimes when I start a project, I like to find a sound or something that will inspire me and kind of get things going. So I decided to take a snippet of one of my other cues from the movie, stick it in the sampler, chop it up into bits, filter it, stick it through a bunch of toys, and just kind of see what happens. And then at some point, I guess I figured out that it needed to be in a different key. So I did that, put it in the right key. So then I had this thing that I liked. So then I put on the loop and sat in front of the piano and tried to find the chords for the verse. Normally this involves me going around every piano until something good happens. That's not that good. That's one thing about this place, there's lots of pianos. We are filthy with pianos. Then what happened next? Then, of course, I needed to work on the chorus chords. Like I said, it was based on the love theme. And then, I guess some point in the process, I heard this two-note little motif that was kind of in the loop somehow. And I decided I wanted to accentuate that, like the idea of there being this sort of rising tension throughout the whole thing that's kind of growing and growing, and kind of the chords are changing behind it, but this thing is continuing. Asked my mate Leova to play it, so I have a way of working with him where I'll write something in MIDI and use fake strings, and then I'll kind of print out the PDF and I'll email it to him, and then he sends it back to me, and then I stick it in my session, and he's brilliant. We've been doing that for about 15 years. So I put that in, and then what happened next? Then I suppose I had to write the words. That feeling of falling in love and nothing else matters, and you're the only two people in the universe, and everything else is just colourless and drab, and it can all go to shit at any moment, I suppose, like all good things, right? So at this point, Sky had already agreed to sing the song. I thought rather than writing everything down, I would just record it myself and send it to her. We've known each other quite a long time, so I didn't feel embarrassed about her hearing me squawking away.
The colors draining out.
And then when she sent me what she did, it just defied all expectations. She just elevated it to a whole new level. And then I thought it was about time that I sent it to Cahill to make sure that he liked it. So I sent it to him, and he loved it so much, in fact, that he decided to include it in another scene. So we realized at that point that we needed to make it a bit longer so that it could be in that scene. So I had to write another verse, obviously. So, you know, this is like late June, I think, and the kids have been off school for bloody months. I know. Yeah. So we thought we should probably take a trip away. So we went to Palm Springs, took a place for just a week, an Airbnb. So I wrote the verse in Palm Springs. And then she did that. Right. Oh dear. Who do you think that is? I love the sound of the drums from that Massive Attack song at the beginning of Mezzanine, so I wanted that rimshot sound. So I did that. And, I called up my mate Spencer Cohen, who played the drums on the rest of the movie, and I said I wanted there to be some sort of orchestral percussion in it. So he recorded himself playing this really cool tambourine rhythm and a few other bits and pieces. And really, you know, I love like clicky things, like out-of-tune TVs, that sort of thing, like old tellies that aren't quite receiving a signal. So I plugged a bunch of things into different things, and you know, I made a pretty good career out of plugging the wrong thing into different things. You know, I think I was trying to plug something into a thing, and it made the whole car fuse, and it lost all its power. Headlights went out, everything was awful. Yeah, but we were driving down the motorway, and that's how it happened, and it was amazing.